All right, so how's everyone doing? Today I want to go over a concept which I learned very early on in my entrepreneurial journey, and it is the sole reason why today I am rich, why I have good money coming in. And it's a piece of advice that I wish I had when I started, and it's what I recommend to everyone who wants to start an online business. You should be doing this. So as you've probably seen from the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about building a personal brand around your agency, okay? Many people think that just because you're running an agency for local business means that you can get away without the personal brand. Can you? Yes. Is it recommended? No. Okay. Ask yourself, you have two agencies, they both work with gyms. Okay. One has a bunch of content, a bunch of social proof, like they're very active on social media, and the other one has no sign of life online. Which one do you think is more likely to get success, to get more clients? Okay. Obviously the one that is showcasing the results, that they're actually active and they're alive. Okay. And also typically you can command more money, you have more testimonials, you get people that come into you. Anyways, we'll cover this, but I'll explain like a brief story on like why you should be doing it. And then I'll be giving you an exact game plan on what type of content I would produce with my agency. So little social proof. This was me before, about 2-3 years ago. I used to be an engineering student. As you can see, I was building some crazy things. I lived in my mom's basement, so I had a piece of paper. I wrote 10K a month, stuck it on my door, and that was my goal. And then I used to work as a door-to-door sales rep. So I was selling pest control. So I was working like a regular job. It wasn't really a regular job, but I was working a job. And now today, well, basically in the basement, I started my agency. So as you can see, in November, I was making no money. And then from there, scaled it pretty significantly, 18K per month. And now today we collect, 7K days, 5K payments. We make about 30K per week, more or less. So those are kind of the social proof. If you want to look into me a bit more, I have an Instagram, I have everything. But the number one thing I'm super grateful for is the fact that I started my YouTube channel when I started shortly after I started my agency. I started posting a video pretty much daily, just documenting my journey on what I was doing, the struggles. I was also talking about random like life advice and stuff like that, but just putting myself out there. And today, if it wasn't for this, I would not be making 30K weeks. That's for sure. Okay. And that's a realization that I had when I started my entrepreneurial journey, is that when I was evaluating the big boys, okay, and here are a couple of examples, I noticed with all of them, they made most of their wealth by having a huge audience. Okay. And that's when I clicked back then, and I was like, I'm not too sure what I want to do with my personal brand, with my audience, but I do know it's important to have one. Okay. So this is my piece of advice to you guys. If you're just starting out, start documenting everything about your business. Okay. I'll be giving you a detailed game plan a bit later in the video, but start documenting. Even if you're not an expert, you're not too sure what you're doing, anything that you're working on that day, when it comes to your agency, if you learn something new, if you're building a website or whatever, make a short video, document it, and put it online. Okay. You will thank yourself in a year or 2 years. Once you have some sort of a following, you will be thanking yourself for doing this. Okay. Now, the issue with agencies that proceed without having an audience is that you will basically be limited by money or hours worked. Okay. Because at the end of the day, with an agency, we're trying to get more clients. Okay. We're trying to scale the business. The way we get more clients without having a personal brand, so a way of like directly getting clients at the beginning, at least, you're going to have to do cold DMs, cold calls, ads, or just invest money into marketing as a whole. Okay. Yes, there's going to be referrals, but that's a lot later, like down the road, once your business is super established. And all of these things are limited by either money. Okay. So if you're running ads and you're just starting out, of course, you can't dump 100K per month in ad spend, or hours worked. Okay. Because you probably don't have the funds for it. You have to use your own hours to cold DM, cold call, and stuff like that. Okay. So your solution long-term becomes just spending more money or hiring more people. Okay. Which if you look at it back, it's, spending more money. All of these things are high effort. Okay. You constantly have to re-educate your audience, because you cold DM a random person, they have no idea who you are, and now you have to educate them. And you also have to build a huge appointment setting team to get you more appointments, to get you more clients. All right. And if you never have an audience, this will always be a problem for you. Always, always, always. Okay. Even someone with a somewhat of a decent following at the beginning will still have to go through this phase. It's normal, but it won't be as high effort. And then in the future, they won't even have to do these things if they do it well. Okay? So by not working on having an audience, you're setting yourself for a entrepreneurial journey where you're going to just be limited by your money and the hours worked to just outreach to as many people as you can, and with the hopes of getting them to convert into a paying client. Okay? And what I noticed is that all of the big players, did they need a personal brand to start making money? No. Okay? But it's not how they got super wealthy, how they got super rich. Okay? So as you can see, Hormozy, he started Gym Launch. Okay? He was sleeping on his gym floors. He had really good sales skills. Okay? He had a smaller audience. And then over time, he was able to build a business to 100K per month. And then eventually 4 million a month, which is insane. Okay? But what really got him to a crazy level of wealth is once he started his YouTube channel. Okay? He had his YouTube channel. He has a podcast as well, which allowed him to have a huge audience combined with a leveraged offer, which is something we will have to worry about. But in the future, once you have that personal brand, he was able to get a portfolio of over $200 million. And I remember watching Hormozy, I was like, holy fuck, like this is crazy. Okay, and same thing with Iman. Most of you guys probably know Iman. Started off, he had good marketing skills. He started his agency. He was making about 100K per month. But today, him living in Dubai and having these crazy cars and everything is not because of his just bare bones agency. It's because he built a personal brand. He documented everything on YouTube, which allowed him now to have a huge audience of 4 million subscribers on YouTube, combined with a leverage offer. And now he makes multiple 8 figures a year. All right. And same thing for Hamza. He started off in his room making videos, self-help videos. He's a great speaker, very good at storytelling. Eventually scaled up his YouTube. He was making probably good ad spend from his channel. But it wasn't until he launched his paid community on Skull that he was able to achieve 200K per month as an income. And again, with a huge audience and leverage offer. And that's what I noticed. I noticed all of these people had this in common. They all had big audiences and a leveraged offer. Now, for now, you guys don't have to worry about the leverage offer. Okay, that is not a problem that you're facing today. The number one thing we can work on at the moment is having a huge audience. Okay, and all of these people, while they were building their initial phase of wealth, they were also building that audience. Okay, it wasn't one and then two. It was both at the same time. So that's why I'm telling you guys that it's highly recommended that as you're starting your agency, do your cold calls, your cold DMs and everything, but start building that personal brand. Because the day you do end up having a huge audience, you will figure out a leverage offer. So a leverage offer, for those that don't know what it means, it's basically something that is you can deliver at scale. So to give an example, like Iman selling his course, whether he sells one course to one person or to 1 million people in one day, his workload is exactly the same. He doesn't have to do 1 million times more work because it's a course. He's basically just giving it. Okay? So, and same thing with Hamza, okay? Whether there's 5 people who join his school community or 100, there's not necessarily more work in his plate. Okay? Whereas like with the agency, if you're running Facebook ads, if I give you 1 million new local businesses who want their ads run, you're not going to be able to deliver because you don't have the staff for it. You don't have the manpower. Okay, so that's not a leverage offer, but again, they did not start with these offers, okay? So just start with the basics, and then over time, as you build your audience, then you can worry about that, okay? So as mentioned, if you do want to go down this route and start building content, the way you make content is very simple. People like to overcomplicate this. It's not pain points. You basically will make content that will help your clients solve every single one of their pain points. All right, so if you're working with local businesses, their current situation most of the time when you reach out to them is that they're not making the amount of money that they want to be making, and they have an inconsistent way of acquiring new clients, acquiring new business. And where they want to be is have a desired revenue, so they might be 1 million per year, 10 million a year, depending on who you speak with, and consistent growth. Okay, for most local businesses, that is what they want. And your job with the content and your service is to solve all of their pain points. Okay, everything that can get them from point A to point B are basically pain points. It's the gap, okay, in between that you have to solve for. And if you start making content around their pain points, their gap, then you're going to be viewed as someone that can actually solve their problems. Because, hey, I might, as a local business, might have problems with my follow-up sequence, okay? I get a bunch of people who inquire to work with me, but I'm not able to follow up with them. I don't know what to do. Let me research, how do I do this? And then I look it up on YouTube and I find your video. And then once I look at your channel, I see you have a bunch of content around all of these pain points that I might be facing as well in my company. So naturally, if I'm looking to solve these problems and I want to work with someone, am I going to go to the random person who cold DM me, or to the person who's been documenting his entire journey and showing his expertise and helping me solve my problems for free? Okay, so this is the importance of having a personal brand. Use their pain points and make content around this. These three pillars, you can make unlimited content. Make it around lead generation, so helping them get more leads. So you can talk about their offer, the angle, the platforms they should be using, how to build a personal brand for their local business, how they should optimize the entire thing, getting media buyers, having the CRM, nurturing the leads, and then the appointment setting, and then the sales, the closing aspect of it. Okay? I'm telling you guys, if you start making content, maybe now it's not going to be, like, it's not going to have a huge impact. Like, you're still going to have to resort to these basic ways of acquiring clients. But over time, give it a year or two, and you will have something that's going to educate your clients for you. And it's also a leveraged way of acquiring clients. Okay, my video, this one, could get 1 million views tomorrow. If that happens, I will become filthy rich. All right, because 1 million people will know about me. These people will go on my channel, they will see that I have a promotion, and they will book a call with me, and I will get paid for it. Okay, so one video can blow up and entirely change the course of your life. And for me, that's what's keeping me going with this content, is that I'm one video away from becoming Iman level of wealth. And you guys, it's the same thing with your agency. Okay, so start making content. Very important. When it comes to ideas, just solve all of their pain points. List out exactly what your local business might face as an issue as they're getting to their desired outcome. If you make, if you're helping local businesses with their short form content, then you would change this up. My recommendation is to go for long form over short form. Okay, it's easier to build trust when you watch someone for 30 minutes versus just scrolling on TikTok and seeing like a 15-second clip, and it's easier to start. Okay, many people think shorts, just because it's shorter, it's easier to do, just because it takes less time. But because you have less time and you're in competition with so many people with their crazy animations and their editing and stuff like that, you have to be really good at making captivating content for like 30 seconds. For me personally, I've always found it so much easier to make long form content. You just speak, you run them through a process like I am today, and it's easier to get people to build trust with you, right? My recommendation, again, long form is going to be YouTube. And then for you guys, for local businesses, I would go with Facebook, because most of you guys will be doing cold DMs on Facebook. And typically, like, local businesses do have a tendency to be a bit more older people, and the older people are more on Facebook than like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. Okay, so my recommendation, start building, we'll start doing YouTube videos and share those YouTube videos on your Facebook page. Okay, and then you're going to be building 2 personal brands at the same time. But yeah, that's my recommendation for everyone who's starting out with their agency. I mean, just because you're doing an agency, you're not a coach like I am, does not mean you do not have to make content. I am telling you, I know people personally who run agencies who have a personal brand, especially on YouTube, and they are killing it because of it. They're getting inbound leads. People are reaching out to them to work with them. And the people who come to them, they're like, yeah, I know you're ready. I trust you. I've seen your content. You're clearly the expert. How much does it cost to work with you? It is so easy to close and work with. And it's something that, over time will, basically just put the client acquisition system on autopilot. Okay. So I hope this was useful. As usual, guys, we have our free school. So if you want to join our school community and ask me any questions or share me your personal brand, share me your content idea. If you want my feedback on anything, by all means, that is the best place to get in contact with me. Otherwise, let's get to work. Let's film some content and make some money. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.